Welcome to the ECCOLAB version 2 quick start and overview video. In this video we're going to have a quick look at the ECCOLAB interface and get you started with your first project, creating options within that project and then running those options to get whole life carbon cost and energy results. So let's start by looking at the interface. On the top right of the screen we have the menu bar. Here you can access information about your account, your subscription plan and support, so additional videos like this one to help you use ECCOLAB. There's also the libraries, so here we have the component library. This is the extensive list of materials with their physical properties, wastage rates, embodied carbon data and lifespan information, and those materials can be built into assemblies in the assembly library, creating things like external walls, roof constructions, upper floor constructions, which are then applied to your models using the ECCOLAB templates to get your whole life carbon cost and energy results. So let's have a quick look at the ECCOLAB project library. So you can open that up by clicking on the bar on the left of your screen, and here you can see a list of all the projects within the workspace. The projects at the top here are the ECCOLAB demo projects, so I can simply open a project by clicking on the name. And this opens out the project window. So this gives you a summary of the options that sit within your project, and also a high-level chart that allows you to compare those options. So here we're looking at a scatter chart. We can customize that, so this is whole life carbon on the x-axis and life cycle cost on the y-axis. And there are a number of other charts here we can use to compare the relative performance of our options at high level. You can also just view this as a list, so if you've got a lot of options in your project, this can be quite handy. And I'm going to click back here and open back out the comparison chart. And then if we want to look in more detail at individual options within the project, you can simply open those out by clicking on the names within the list. You can see here then on the option card that we have an individual option name. Again, this can be adjusted simply by clicking into this space at the top and saving that. And then the high level metrics for that option. So this is covering carbon in terms of embodied carbon and operational carbon, life cycle cost, construction cost and energy use intensity. And in the middle of the option card, you have a charting area which gives you a high-level results. So for example, here we're looking at embodied carbon by element. We could change that to cumulative carbon. At the bottom of the card, you have a summary of the geometry that's driving the option. So here we have a little preview of the geometry. We got the total area of the option, number of floors, its location, a summary of the glazing ratio and the floor-to-floor heights. If we want to get a quick summary of the specification of our option, we can do this by clicking on the drop down in the middle of the card and choosing option specification. This gives you a high level view of the templates that are driving the specification for your option. So if you want to compare results in a little more detail, you can click on the ECCOLAB logo here, which opens out the project charting window. You can select from a wide range of charts, including ones that cover the carbon results from the engine, looking at the cost results, looking at that in more detail in terms of individual building element breakdowns, or right through down to the detail of the impact of individual constructions within your project. So let's have a quick look at how you create a new project. So within the project library, click the Add button, type in a reference and the project name. Then we can select one of ECCOLAB's whole building templates. Now this is a really powerful aspect of ECCOLAB that allows you to get started really quickly. So here I'm going to choose a passive house office building with a steel frame and SFS construction. So let's click on that and let's add that to our project. You'll see in the project library that a new project's been created. So let's open that out in our workspace. And let's open out the first option. You'll see immediately here that the option is now set to match the whole building template. And you'll also notice that the option is currently not showing any results. That's because it hasn't been simulated. So let's simulate this option now. So let's hit the Run Simulation button. And what this is doing is running an Energy Plus, energy simulation, whole life carbon and whole life cost simulation for this option specification based on the whole building template that I selected. And you can see now we've got results. If you want to then compare a number of options with different specifications, that's very quick within ECCOLAB. I'm just going to minimize down the project library card and I'm going to duplicate my initial option within the workspace. And let's choose some different whole building templates for these new options. So I'm going to click here and select a different office specification. So let's choose here the Passive House In Situ RC and Timber Frame option and apply that to my option. For my third option, I'm going to choose another specification again. So let's scroll up here and select a glulam timber frame hybrid. Let's apply that. And now we can run simulation for all options. And you can see results coming through now in the interface. So let's close these options down and have a quick look again at our charting window. You can see those results presented for the three options in terms of the scatter chart, in terms of how they perform over time, in terms of cumulative cost, in terms of upfront carbon by building element, and for example the installed mass in terms of virgin material inputted and recycled material inputted into the project and waste materials outputted from the project. So that gives you a really quick introduction on how you can start using ECCOLAB. There are a number of other key videos you might want to watch to get you going. One looking at how to use the building generator, one looking at how to set the location and climate file for your option, how to customize options in more detail using the sub-templates, and also how to use the engine overrides and set benchmarks within ECCOLAB.